It is a cold winter's day and I do hope that our stories will bring some warmth to your hearts, for we bring you the latest from the world of art, music and culture. Welcome to Colors of India. Our main stories this week include collaborations of a completely different kind, some stories about food and friendship, and celebrating an Orthodox Christmas. Indo-Pak relationship has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, starting from cricket and ending with LOC. Our top story this week is also about this relationship, but we look at it in a totally positive light. Delhi Hut, the permanent crafts village in the city, has a more colourful look this week with the Dastakari Hath Samiti's annual Crafts Bazaar. As part of this, reputed and award-winning craftsmen from across the country have set up their stalls to sell their unique handmade wares.
I believe a lot in collaboration between grassroots people, and especially in handicrafts I find that there is a lot of humanity and a shared creativity when people tend to forget completely all kinds of restrictions and limits and the kind of things that otherwise keep people a little hesitant. But I find with women it is even better because they have so much heart and soul in everything they do and so much sentiment that I believe that diplomacy through craft is a very, very good route.
But the highlight of this year's Mela is the visiting Pakistani artisans. India and Pakistan has a shared cultural heritage, and one of the many common links that we share are our hand embroidery traditions. So here at the Mela, embroiders from Pakistan and India are involved in a unique dialogue where they share ideas and techniques with each other.
डिज़ाइनिंग में कुछ फ़र्क है, तो हम लोग ये देख रहे हैं कि आप लोग कैसे डिज़ाइन करते हैं। फिर कुछ और भी मतलब डिज़ाइन नए हैं जो हम लोग मतलब यहाँ से लेके जाएंगे और हमारे कुछ डिफरेंट है और वो हम लोग दे के जाएंगे। कुछ कढ़ाइयाँ ऐसी हैं जो हम यहाँ से सीख के जाएंगे और कुछ ऐसी हैं कि जो हम लोग सिखा के जाएंगे। टांके में फ़र्क है, कढ़ाइयाँ एक जैसी तकरीबन मिलती जुलती हैं।
Cross stitch, crochet, cut work and relief work dominate the craft scene here. But to many, this journey across the border was a rewarding experience at a personal level as well.
ये वर्कशॉप इतनी अच्छी मेरे लिए मुबारक साबित हुई है कि भी जो ज़िंदगी में कभी मेरी किसी से मुलाकात नहीं हुई थी। मेरी फूफो यहाँ रहती हैं तो उनके घर पहली मर्तबा मुलाकात मेरी उनसे हुई है, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा है उनसे मिलके। बहुत रोना भी आया था अपने खून से, जब पार्टीशन के वक्त खून से जुदा हो गया था, तो उसकी वजह से फिर अब इस वर्कशॉप के ज़रिए मैं सबसे मिली हूँ। आप लोगों का प्यार देखा है, सबका बहुत अच्छा लगा है यहाँ हिंदुस्तान में आना।
Pakistan's Behbood Association, partly responsible for this cultural exchange, has also brought with them some gorgeous handmade clothes which are up for grabs at Delhi Hut till the 15th of January. Here we have a group of women separated by country, religion and sometimes even language, working together to create something very beautiful. And I'm not just talking about the art piece or the craft piece that they're working on. Moving on, we next have for you a collaboration between artists, and it is a fabulous show.
theatre has the capacity to stimulate large ideas and thoughts. And thus, the National School of Drama's annual theatre festival stimulates the growth and development of theatre all over India. As a part of the 15th Bharat Rang Mahotsav, Sujoy Saple introduced his work Unselfed.
We were exploring ideas of the self and selfhood and unitary selves and multiple selves, and experiences where your sense of self or your singular sense of self gets questioned, or experiences where you might actually encounter other selves, or experiences where you are out of yourself watching yourself, which might make you question the validity of your being as a human being, as a self. So for those experiences you have to be out of yourself or be unselfed, so to speak. So that's how the title.
Unselfed is what Sujoy calls a new devised performance piece which explores the prejudiced ideas and propositions of parallel or multiple selves. The entire act is a take on a person's relationship with oneself in many manifestations, where only when the characters disperse from their own images are able to locate their true selves.
Our body to express a lot, like there are lots of things ambiguously we express, but it was a very challenging and novel way to find life in something which exactly, as per us, we define life as us breathing, inhaling, eating and all that, but even these have a character of their own.
The piece uses the conventional linear narrative style to the bare minimum. It portrays the ideas visually using a lot of physical movement through a free-flowing non-narrative. As for props, they used a wooden frame which acts as a mirror, questioning on which side the real self exists. With adequate, accurate lighting and music, the scenes got their required depths.
I like sort of how every little piece is kind of like a sentence, and you have to a certain extent, decode it if you want to continue to follow the thread of a performance. And I thought that was interesting because it's engaging of the audience. It kind of requires the audience to pay attention, and otherwise you're not really going to try to understand what's happening, and then you might miss sort of the feeling of it.
The piece is collaboration between contemporary dancers and theatre artists. Using the fluidity of contemporary style, the acceptance and anguish between the self in the acts gets even more prominently highlighted.
Beautiful images and food for thought On that note, it's time for us to take a small break on Colours of India. We will see you on the other side.
Coming up is a fascinating art story, followed by the food trail.
Welcome back. If you think you have to wait for a whole year to celebrate Christmas again, then think again. At the Attic in Delhi, a small select group gathered together to celebrate Christmas all over again in the second week of January.
Until the 16th century, the civil calendar in use was the Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 46 BC. According to it, the 7th of January was recorded as the date of Christmas. But recognizing the fallacies in it, Pope Gregory XIII brought out the Gregorian calendar, as per which 25th of December was the date of Christ's nativity. Thus, still following the Julian calendar, a small group of Delhi Christians celebrated an Orthodox Christmas.
Within the context, it was basically people wonder why this difference. When you actually look at the Roman civilization and when Rome accepted Christianity as a state religion and the moving away of the festival of the birth of Sun, which was a pagan festival predating Christianity, there was this festival which was celebrated. And despite the best efforts of the emperors and the edicts, people were still celebrating that. So they replaced the festival of the birth of Sun with the birth of the Son of God, which was Christ. And henceforth, the church, post-16th century, when Pope Gregory comes into play, and Pope Gregory makes a new calendar, which replaces the Julian calendar. And on the replacing of Julian calendar, Christmas is fixed on the 25th of December. But the Eastern Orthodox Church is not affected by the Holy See, in this case, the Pope. And they continue to follow the Julian calendar. Henceforth, they celebrate Christmas as they were celebrating throughout the centuries on the 6th, 7th, or the 8th of January.
The evening was a musical presentation which focused on the various unique customs of celebrating Christmas. Sharing Christmas hymns from different regions of Russia, Ethiopia, Egypt, as well as from many European countries, Robinson shared the various historical traditions of the Orthodox churches which till date celebrate Christmas the old way.
In this particular evening, what you take back is the seriousness of the Orthodox tradition, which is very different from the fun and games of what is now a very commercialized Western Christmas. And also we have associated Christmas with Western Europe, with the white world, let's say. And I'm almost totally unaware of the very important African tradition, which includes Ethiopia and Egypt, and the traditions that they have and they still enjoy.
White cloth is considered to be auspicious to the day, as Christ was wrapped in it when born. With the same thought and an Ethiopian setting, a corner was decorated with white curtains and pillows and was lit up with candles. Among these was placed a white crucifix and a Russian icon of Mother Mary with baby Christ reminding of the birth and crucifixion.
I remember in particular my travels in Ethiopia and also in some parts of Eastern Europe. And it's true that those countries have kept a much more authentic, traditional approach to Christmas, which is still seen as a sacred holiday for both penance and joy, because there has to be atonement, but there also has to be a sense of rebirth. And that was the original spirit of Christmas. Unfortunately, in the West, it has been mostly taken over by consumerism.
Food is an integral part of the celebration. As ritual, there are 12 servings made for the Christmas supper, but the gathering rejoiced with some homemade biscuits, some pita bread with hummus, and rum cake along with some hot rum punch.
Now this is fun twice over. Moving on, we have for you an art exhibition that reflects the pulse of the city.
Young artist Priyanka Nejavan organized a group art exhibition at India Habitat Centre's Open Palm Court. The lack of a common theme meant that each of the participating 15 artists could exhibit their best works, which included paintings, photographs and sculptures.
Oh, this is a beautiful exhibition. The colors are very sharp, and at this time of the year, when the sun is not very bright, it is just at the right time that such a good painting exhibition has come around. I particularly like the birds, which seem to be just about chirping, and all those paintings here seem to be, at least to me, that they are going to speak something.
Abhishek Singh's work glorified darkness and played with the alphabets. Akshay Verma's human figures were recognizable for their distinct style. Self-taught artist Kumar Umesh's work were also a part of this exhibition.
इंस्पिरेशन के बारे में अगर मैं बताऊं तो इंस्पिरेशन औरत है सबसे ज़्यादा, वुमेन जो है, और राइट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग टिल द एंड ऑफ योर लाइफ जो लेडी है वो आपके साथ हमेशा रहती है, डिफरेंट रूप्स में रहती है. उसमें सबसे ज़्यादा जो मतलब पीछे का जो है, सब चीज़ें आपके साथ हैं बिल्कुल, लेकिन जो आपकी इमेजिनेशन में होता है वो होता है आपकी गर्लफ्रेंड या आपकी जो पार्टनर बनने वाली है. उसके लिए आपके दिमाग में एक फीलिंग होती है, उस फीलिंग को ही मैंने दिखाने की कोशिश की है.
If Purnima Savan's sculptures highlighted the beauty within everyday ordinary, Richa Nejavan's photographs also seem to follow the same core idea. Using maps and supporting images, Ravindra Dutt's mixed media work told a fascinating story.
Well, I'm doing a series on Mughal treasures, which is contemporizing the essence of the Mughal Empire, be it the hookah or the harem, which I call the bird cage, as you can see the painting behind. And then there's another thing called War of the Worlds, wherein I've contemporized the elements of the subcontinent, be it the Peshawar trucks or, the game of chess and the cannons brought in by the Mughals. But then in this series of 9 pieces that I'll be bringing out, I've tried to put in my interest, which is history, archaeology, architecture, and the love for art and artifacts. So it's my own interest that I've tried to bring in this series.
Socio-political scenarios also made it onto the canvas, and one could clearly see the anger the artist felt towards society in a painting that was inspired by the recent scandals in Delhi.
Art is always a reflection of what is, and the Maharaja Art Show was no different. It is now time for a quick break. See you on the other side.
Up next, a quiet, peaceful food place.
Welcome back. On Food Trail this week, I'm having lunch at UNI Canteen. Now this canteen is right here in the center of Delhi, and it is a space which serves exclusive South Indian dishes at a very, very reasonable price.
The UNI staff canteen is frequented by almost everybody who works in this area. It is a quiet little eating spot tucked away behind the main office building. This place is not known for its looks, but to the regulars, this is not just a quick lunch spot.
50 साल से ऊपर हो गया लगभग, और मेरे को यहाँ पे 20 साल हो गया। लोग पुराने कस्टमर हैं, हमारे बहुत पुराने कस्टमर हैं, बहुत अच्छे कस्टमर हैं। और कई जब से कैंटीन स्टार्टिंग हुई है, जब से कस्टमर अभी तक जो मतलब चलना भी मुश्किल होता है, फिर भी हर हाल में गाड़ी में हो, जैसे भी हो, बच्चों का हाथ पकड़ के कैसे भी हो, मतलब इस एरिया में आ जाते हैं तो हमारे यहाँ ज़रूर आना है उनको। और आते हैं तो अच्छे से हमसे बातचीत करना, मतलब हमें समझाना, रास्ता दिखाना, ऐसे मतलब बहुत अच्छा वो है।
Food here is very good. Apart from that, the rates are also reasonable. And मैं तो यहाँ मोस्टली हलवा खाने आता हूँ। हलवा is very good. जैसे साउथ इंडियन डिशेस कहते हैं, दिस इज़ अ गुड प्लेस टू कम। यहाँ ज़्यादा रश वगैरह भी नहीं रहता है, इसलिए ज़्यादा बेटर है।
I personally know of folks who have been patrons for 40 odd years. Food, friends and privacy draws them here. And if you're alone for lunch, the tricks of the monkey population will keep you amused. Then of course there is the food. The upma, which is a common breakfast item in the south of India, is served through the day at this canteen. And if you're looking for a light meal, then this is as good as it gets.
यहाँ दोस्तों से मिलने के बहाने कि जो यहाँ आते हैं खाना खाने, तो कहीं घर जैसा खाना होता है, अब बहुत सारे दोस्त मिल जाते हैं तो दोस्तों से मुलाकात भी होती है, एक अपनापन फील होता है। इसलिए मैं अच्छी जगह खाना खाने नहीं जाता हूँ, यहीं आता हूँ। पिछले 10-15 साल से आता हूँ कंटिन्यू।
If you love the dosas, then you'll grow to love them even more and better after you try the ones that they make at this dosa factory. Though this dish was first prepared in Udupi, it is today associated with the whole of southern India, and it might amuse you to know that the simple masala dosa, cooked with its potato filling, is on the world's 50 most delicious food list compiled by CNN Go.
Whenever I miss a good masala dosa, this is where I come. Contrary to many places in the northern part of India where you get very little masala inside a huge dosa, the masala dosa here has a lot of masala here. I love the filling.
And if you like your dosas a little differently, then try the uttappam. With all that topping, you can even call it the Indian version of a pizza.
Dosa was always the staple at home, but as children we longed for something more than those plain long dosas, and then mom would make the uttappam. It was always a celebration. About 3 days of dosa, and then the 4th day is the uttappam, and maybe the 5th day she'd make masala dosas. I'm reminded of my childhood, yes. Look at the gorgeous colors. There's the green, the light white and shades of orange and red. Now when you make this at home, you can of course get creative and use other vegetables which are easy to cook. Here they have just the onions, the chilies and tomatoes. But the taste is brilliant nevertheless.
In many ways, the UNI Canteen is also a place that you can head to if you want a little me time in between a hard working day. Tea break at this canteen is also a fun idea, and I personally found myself a really close friend here. We met over coffee and kesari, talked for long hours, and lo and behold, we're best friends forever.
Agreed, I came here for a quick lunch break, but there's no way I can leave this place without having the suji ke halwa, or kesari as we call it in the south of India, and this coffee. Well, hot kesari is a must at most religious functions in the southern part of India, and of course you know how the South Indians are with coffee. That's all we have for you on this week's episode of Colors of India. Do allow me to continue on my food trail with coffee and kesari. I will see you next week, same time, same show. And do write to us through our Facebook page. Goodbye.